Once upon a time in ancient China, there were two monks who were traveling on foot to reach a nearby temple. The elder monk was a wise and experienced master, while the younger monk was his disciple, eager to learn from his teacher as they walked. They came upon a river that was too deep and too wide to cross on the banks of the river. They sought a young woman who was also trying to cross. She was clearly struggling, and the monks could see that she was frightened without hesitation. The elder monk walked over to the woman and asked if he could help her. The woman was grateful and relieved, and she accepted the elder monk's offer. The elder monk then lifted her onto his back and began to wade across the river, with the younger monk following closely behind after they had crossed the river. The elder monk set the woman down and continued on their journey for the rest of the day. The younger monk was preoccupied and troubled by what had happened. He couldn't understand why his teacher had broken the strict monastic rules against touching women. Finally, as the sun began to set, the younger monk could no longer contain his curiosity and frustration. "Master," he asked, "I don't understand. As monks, we are not supposed to touch women. Why did you carry that woman across the river?" The elder monk smiled patiently and replied, "My dear student, I put the woman down hours ago. Why are you still carrying her?" The younger monk was struck by the elder monk's words. He realized that he had been holding on to his judgment and resentment about the incident while his teacher had let it go. The younger monk realized that he needed to learn to let go of his own negative thoughts and judgments as they continued on their journey. The younger monk tried to practice what he had learned. Whenever he found himself getting caught up in his own thoughts and judgments, he would remind himself to put the woman down and let go of his attachment to the past. When they finally arrived at the temple, the elder monk called the younger monk over to him. "You have learned a valuable lesson today," he said, "but there is more to this story than you realize." The elder monk continued, "I carried the woman across the river, but I put her down hours ago. You, on the other hand, have been carrying her with you ever since. You have been holding on to your negative thoughts and judgments, just as you have been holding on to the woman." The younger monk was struck by the elder monk's words once again. He realized that his attachment to his own negative thoughts and judgments had been holding him back, just as the woman had been holding on to the elder monk from that day forward. The younger monk tried to practice mindfulness and let go of his judgments and negative thoughts. He realized that the key to finding inner peace was to let go of attachment to the past and focus on the present moment. The elder monk had taught his disciple a valuable lesson that day, one that would stay with him for the rest of his life. The lesson was not only about letting go of attachment to the past, but also about the power of mindfulness and the importance of staying present in the moment.